Alright, welcome back everybody. Quancredible here to be bringing you the review for Eden Zero Chapter 127. Now, my apologies for not bringing you the review last week. I swear the Eden Zero chapters just come out at a weird time for me in my day, and then I kind of get behind schedule, and then like next thing I know, it's like 3 days later and I haven't done it yet, and it's like, well, crap, I might as well just wait till next week. But apologies on that one. It is here this week. Hopefully they come out early like this, because when they come out early, it gives me a much better opportunity and more time to do them when I just normally do videos. But anyway, we start off with this amazing cover page. Now,
but this does put a smile on my face.
Sister definitely among probably my top three, yeah, probably like top three in Eden Zero for me, for sure. I like her attitude, and even without, I kind of prefer her without the hat. So this cover page was amazing. But anyway, last chapter we kind of got some of the beginnings of Jin and Klein's backstory. In this chapter, follows suit with more of that. It starts out with Jin waiting outside because Klein is essentially being looked at by a sister, and it's really interesting because we don't get any of Jin in this chapter, well, any of present Jin in this chapter outside of this exact moment. And I feel like this moment is, I don't want to overanalyze it, but I feel like it's just mad powerful because Jin's really overprotective of his sister. So the fact that he's not beating down the doors, and the fact that he's just sitting there solemnly really just pushes the point of how actually concerned he really is in this moment. But inside of the actual the medical room, we have sister talking to Witch, kind of trying to figure out what is wrong or what she wants to do to try to fix Klein, because Klein's apparently her situation or her strength is fading faster than sister can heal. To which sister swears on her own name that she's gonna fix this. And I kind of thought that this was weird, that she's gonna digitize herself to go into Klein's memories to try to find the trouble spot. Now, granted, again, I just said exactly what she's going to do, but even with me understanding what she's going to do, I'm not for sure how this is supposed to work. I'm not for sure exactly what going inside of her memories to see what is wrong is going to do. I don't know, is she going to travel inside, and then once she finds this targeted area, is she going to somehow heal that exact memory, or is she going to somehow inject herself into Klein's memory to try to ease Klein's worry about it? Or I'm just not for sure exactly where Mashima is going to go with this exact moment. So I'm definitely very curious to see how the act of sister healing Klein's memory once she's in there is going to go.
Really makes you think.
But after that, we do get to flashback over to Weiss and Hermit going off against Dr. Mueller, and it's basically him kind of giving more exposition on how he knows Jin and Klein. And it turns out that their family, Jin and Klein's that is, was a benefactor of him, meaning that the Rutherfords kind of funded a lot of his research before they found out he was absolutely crazy and insane. They were, they basically paid for his stuff. That's how scientists work typically to fund research. They get rich people to give them grants. That's at least that's my plebeian understanding of how that works. Don't quote me. But basically, Dr. Mueller felt betrayed after they backed out, and this madman went and killed their dad, killed his wife or their mom, and then kidnapped those two, and then tortured Jin and Klein. Is this guy has to go. And it just gets so deep because in this moment of him telling it, it's flashing back over to sister, and then she's seeing it happen as well. So he's telling the story and she's watching it, and it's just I really enjoyed how Mashima did this part. We do get to see more of a direct confrontation though with Weiss versus Mueller, because Hermit's kind of just standing there. Again, like I said a couple reviews ago, no offense to her, but I mean, Hermit isn't a fighter per se, so there's not a lot she can do here. But we do get to see Weiss and Mueller face off a little bit here. Clearly Weiss, even without being able to move his body himself, just using his ether gear to move his suit, is way stronger, way faster. He definitely outclasses Mueller for sure.
Falcon punch!
Even so much as pushing him into a corner to activate Forrest's doomsday system. Now, I don't want to just assume this is a self destruct sequence, because that seems almost like cliche. I feel like Mashima wouldn't do something that obvious. I mean, if he does, cool, whatever. I don't really care all like that, or I'm not like that invested if it is. But I kind of just think it might be something else. Like maybe it could be some type of like a reset button. Like maybe it'll just wipe out all life, but not necessarily blow up the entire planet. And we get like a quick flash of, you know, Shiki, Hamura, and Rebecca with Xenolith and the girl, like kind of like we get to see the group on Foresta and how they're going to try to get off of the planet. And it definitely sets up for stuff in the future because Shiki is taking Xenolith with him, meaning that we may get the potential Shiki Xenolith training off of Foresta, or potentially on the Eden Zero, or maybe Xenolith even has some connections to the Eden Zero ship itself, because we still know there's tons of mysteries on there that we just don't know. But at this point, we do get to see another attack from Weiss. This time, the Grenadine Wing, which is based off of Wendy's dragon from Fairy Tail, which is kind of cool to see. I remember Rex the hero, pointed out to me that all of Weiss's attacks are based off of dragons from Fairy Tail. So just like, see, I'm always waiting for him in his arsenal suit to do another attack. Just to see like what like dragon it's based off of. So we do get to see one based off of that dragon, and it's like a blade and it just chops him in half. Now it sucks because Mueller still kind of has the upper advantage because he's able to shock Weiss out of his suit, and but it works out though because Lagna also appears like right in the nick of time, and also like gets Mueller's attack to like simultaneously shock himself. And then we get like this really epic moment of like a preview of what Weiss versus any like machine or a mechanical opponent would be like, because Lagna just like carries or shoots Weiss over to Mueller, and Weiss uses his ether gear to essentially just blow Mueller up. And it's one of those things where like how Weiss's ether gear works, how he can kind of just Weiss kind of reminds me of like a Mechromancer, or like this or like a machine psychic type deal where he can literally do whatever he wants with machines. So like any opponent that is mechanical based is at a tremendous disadvantage against Weiss. It's one of those fights where if you're in a machine or are a machine, Weiss is not the person you want to fight. Honestly, I kind of wish he would have attempted to do this from the start. Like instead of going for a giant punch, just like try to at least just grab Mueller and just, you know, explode his body, because he can just do that. I haven't really enjoyed the moment in the end where Lagna's like, you know, that move was so brutal that your like hero suit might cry. And I like it because Weiss is like, Arsenal is the champion of justice, and then he's like, I'm just, and then like Hermit comes in and says that he's like very cool. I just really enjoyed that moment a lot for those three. Overall, I really did enjoy this chapter. Like this was a really good chapter, just because I got a lot of my favorite characters were in this chapter. Like of course I love Rebecca, Shiki, Hamura, all of those guys, but like it's something about Weiss, Sister, Jin, like all those kind of characters, like kind of the more edgier characters of the Eden Z0 crew. I kind of like those guys a little bit more. So this chapter was really good to me. I definitely give it like, this is probably like a 9.5, maybe even a 10 chapter for me, because it really did hit on a lot of notes. The only thing stopping it is if I could have got a little bit of Jin fight in there. And again, a lot of people did think that this should have been Jin's fight, or that Jin should have been the one to take down Mueller. But honestly, I'm totally okay with this because as I was saying, because I believe we talked about a little bit in the Eden Zero stream I had last week, we were talking about last week's chapter, and I kind of like Weiss, or like Weiss's group, being the ones to take down Mueller instead of Jin, because granted, Jin doesn't get his revenge or his vengeance, but this gets that off of Klein's mind. So like anything that comforts Klein gets you one up in Jin's book, essentially. So because I'm one of those people who I really want Jin to maintain being a member of the Eden Zero. Like I don't want him to eventually leave. And honestly, I was kind of iffy on Lagna at first, but I kind of don't want him to leave either. Like, I like these additions to the group just because I never really expected them to stick around. Like, maybe be, like, a reoccurring character here and there, but I never expected to get them this much in an arc after their initial showing. So, like, I really do want them to stick around because they're both cool characters. Klein too. Next chapter, we're definitely going to see what Sister's plan or what Sister's deal is on trying to fix Klein. Like, that's definitely going to be a huge part of next chapter, because I'm very curious to know how she's going to do that, as I was saying earlier in the video, because just simply seeing the trauma, I'm not exactly for sure how she's going to be able to fix that. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the chapter down below, how you guys feel about the fight between Mueller and Weiss. I mean, I'm assuming Mueller's down. Let me know if you think he's going to get up or something, possibly have some type of backup plan or scheme. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen to Forrester. Do you guys think it's like a self-destruct sequence or potentially something totally different? Definitely all those thoughts below. Make sure you guys like the video as well as sub to the channel. I'm going to try to get more consistent on Eden Zero content. Definitely at least one Eden Zero video a week is like my goal, at the bare minimum. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video.